requesting approval for an addition to the rear inside corner of 831 Felder Avenue for the purpose of adding an elevator to access the main floor and second floor. Project also include reworking the roof on the rear portion to allow for 8-foot plate height or ceiling height on that portion of the house only. Also some interior modifications.
All right. Any comments from the audience on this project?
Madam Chair, Old Cloverdale Association couldn't be here, but they did email me. They said that they do not have any opposition to the project.
Okay. Are there any comments from the board on this project? Well, you could hardly have picked a more unobtrusive place to put it.
I think it's in keeping with the property. It's in the back of the property, and I think it's great that somebody wants to stay in their home and use the elevator.
All right, good. May I have a motion then?
I move to approve as submitted.
Second.
All in favor? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Brandon Burnham, 82 Commerce Street, Lower Commerce Street District.
Good evening, everyone.
And good evening to you.
So I was just trying to see if I could get a sign approved for a business I'm opening at 82 Commerce. It used to be the LaSalle Blue Piano Bar, and we were actually, there was a metal plate that was already cut right there. So that blue plate is already cut to fit the enclosure and everything. So we were just going to, so the bulbs, it had those old neon bulbs where the bulbs were in the shape of the letters, and they're broken, so we were just gonna take those off. We were gonna paint the blue part black, and then we get a waterproof neon sign and mount on the front of it, and then just put that plate back up.
All right, and the design that you submitted is here at number 4F? Okay. All right, anyone from the audience to speak to this project? Comments from the board?
Just to make sure that the sign you're proposing is going to be in the exact same footprint, no bigger than the existing sign?
It's gonna be the exact same.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, the plate that the bulbs were on, we were
Right.
just gonna reuse that plate.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see, I mean, that's a long-standing thing to have a piano bar in the basement of that building, so I'm glad
All
to see
right.
it's coming back. Any more comments from the board? May I have a motion?
I move to approve as submitted.
Okay. All in favor? All right. Looks like you've got your sign.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a great night.
Matt Ward, 1852 Graham Street, Old Cloverdale.
Hello, everybody. My name is Matt Ward, owner of 1852 Graham Street. I'm here requesting to take down the chimney. It has pulled away from the house by 3, 4, 5 inches, and I'm concerned about the safety of the chimney falling. And I've consulted with a contractor who said it's not repairable. It needs to come down. The contractor I've consulted with actually took the chimney down 2 doors down at, let's see, I think it was 1828. Yeah, 1828 Graham Street. So the plan is to take the chimney down and replace the siding with the exact siding that is around the rest of the house, make it look like the chimney was never there, and replace the roof with the similar shingles.
You didn't have an engineer look at this?
I did not.
Okay. I'm wondering if pressure grouting would stabilize the chimney so that it could remain, would be my only question.
Well, in speaking to the contractor, he seemed to think that that would be a significant task
Okay.
to save the chimney. It's
not very much of a character-defining feature from the front of your house, But it can be seen coming up Graham Street on the side of your house. And it's a nice chimney. I hate to see it come down.
Yeah, I was not happy to see it pulling away from the house myself. I obviously would love to have it stay there, but I've worked with this contractor many times in the past. He's done many projects in Cloverdale. I trust his advice on the matter.
Okay.
And like I said, this happened to the house 2 doors down, the picture
Yep.
up here.
Their chimney wasn't as nice, I have to say. Other comments from the board?
Well, I agree with you, Madam Chair. I hate to see something like this. I mean, I think it is kind of a distinctive feature of the house, but I think it's been our experience once these things start separating in this prairie mud, usually not a lot you can do, and it certainly can be I see in one photograph you have a vehicle parked next to it. It certainly can be a very
Yes, he was
it
asking
can be
recently
it
about
can be
it.
a very hazardous situation. So, given that,
Did the Cloverdale Association have any comments?
Yeah, just that they did not oppose the project.
Just something that dawned on me, Chair. The chimney appears to go through the roof. Are you having to replace a section of the roof as well?
Yes, that section of the roof will be repaired and the flashing will be added, and yes, we will repair the roof there.
Madam Chair, I kind of agree with you that it would be great to have a structural engineer opinion. My thoughts.
It's going to be fairly expensive just to demo the chimney, so it's also a cost factor.
Yeah, it's popping. So the concern I have is if you're looking at this picture that is figure 5C, then you look at the picture that's figure 5D. 5D is showing the separation, right, up against that wall. But 5C is showing it, if you're looking down low, you can see where it appears that there's not a substantial crack on the lower portion of that siding. And as it's going up, it's becoming more substantial. Now, could that also be, and no offense, but I'll say this, could this look darker from just weathering in general in terms of this picture? Possibly. But based on the picture that I'm seeing in 5D, I don't think so. So my gut, and of course I can't say this, but based on these pictures alone and what we've seen in the past, and you're saying it's separating, my thought is it's tilting. And it's tilting at that foundational base at the very bottom. And so the only way that I think you're going to be able to get this fixed, okay, and be brought back into plumb is to basically take it down and rebuild the entire chimney.
yeah.
That's the advice that I was given.
And so with that noted and what we're looking at, and knowing where it's, if you look at the front of the house, I don't see it as while I like the chimney, I don't see it as this massive prominent element, like a major element. And so that's why I tend to gear more and am leaning more on the side of saying that this be approved.
Any further comments from the board? I'll entertain a motion then.
I move to approve as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Nope. We got 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right.
Cedric? No.
Cedric's a no.
6-1. Motion approves.
Ma'am?
I said it was 6-1, the motion
All right.
passes.
All right.
Thank you all.
You're very welcome. All right. Now we have the Land Use Division, number 7. I know. We're talking to ourselves now.
Yeah. This was a proposal which we discussed at the last meeting. and that is a proposed text amendment that would authorise the ARB to review variance requests for historic sites and districts when the variance request is submitted in conjunction with a certificate of appropriateness. Currently, the ARB can approve alterations, but in some cases these alterations also need a variance. So the applicant then has to submit an application to the Board of Adjustment and hope they get approval there as well. This adds significant time onto the application process, and there is also no guarantee the variance will be approved. We see this as a way of streamlining this process. I've worked in other municipalities where this has been done, and it does allow the ARB a great deal of flexibility in the decisions it makes, because you guys look at applications based on appropriateness and significance, whereas the Board of Adjustment maybe look at it just on does it meet these requirements. So I think this board is very well placed to actually review variance requests in association with COAs. Now, there will still be two applications. There would be an application submitted for the COA and an application submitted for the variance with the appropriate fee, and the board would then make two motions, basically, one to approve the alterations and the second to approve the variance request. We really think this will streamline the process, and we do think it will give the board a lot more opportunity to perhaps suggest things to applicants. You know, maybe if you want a larger addition at the back, you can do it, because you could apply for a variance request for, say, your rear setback. Maybe an applicant is considering a second-story addition. Maybe with variances, they could do the addition on the first floor. So we just feel this would be a beneficial process for everyone, and it really would give the overall consideration of the significance of the property to the members of the ARB, which is really what you are experienced in. So staff are recommending that we move ahead with this, and this would really be a recommendation of approval for the text amendment to the City Council, who would have the final say on actually approving this.
Warren, I think this is a wonderful idea and something that will streamline the process for the people who live in our historic districts, and that's great. I want to make sure that the board has the kind of information we need in order to, I don't know the standards on which they made their decisions, and I'd like to understand how they made their decisions in some sort of, let's say, quick training, not something that takes hours. We don't need to spend half a Saturday or something, but 30 minutes before a meeting starts or after a meeting to go through the kinds of things that they considered when they made their decisions would make me feel comfortable about it.
Sure, we can add that to the next agenda
Okay.
and just do it very quickly. And obviously, if you do receive an application for a variance and you have any questions, you can always call us and we can discuss it with you as well.
Okay. What do we need to do? Do we need to pass a motion?
You need to make a motion for recommendation of approval to the City Council.
Okay. Are there any questions from members of the board or discussion?
Move to approve as listed.
Cedric, what do you think?
Kind of indifferent that we get to make the decision, that we get to look at something.
Go ahead, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. That's just my opinion, just a little indifferent that we get to make the decision on whether we review it or not.
I should say that I did mention this to the Board of Adjustment. I felt it was only fair to explain to them that we were considering this, and they agreed that yes, it would streamline the process and that you were in a good position to actually review these variance requests. So they are aware of this moving ahead, and it does have their support.
All right. May I have a recommendation from the board on this project?
I recommend that we go ahead and do what's necessary to be a part of help make those decisions.
All right.
Second.
All right. All in favor? Opposed? All right.
Abstain.
And Cedric doesn't know what to do, so he'll.
He's been on
Yes.
both sides.
Yes, yes.
I'm going to go home and look at my chimneys now and see if I need to take them down. I believe that I have stabilized them by not letting water run under my house.
Well, I went to see a property today, and that is the very question I have at the moment, whether we buy it or not, because both chimneys do need rebuilt from probably the top 10 feet in each one. So it is a fairly major consideration.
It is.
I will not be taking them down, though. If I buy the property, I shall save the money.
All right.
Do we need to approve the minutes?
We do need
Yes.
to approve the minutes. Thank you for reminding me. The minutes were mailed out to us. Has anybody got any additions or corrections to the minutes? May I have a motion to approve then?
I move to approve the minutes as noted.
And a second says, thank you. All right. All in favor?